Hey guys, welcome back to the channel. Welcome to another video of Marvel Contest of Champions. We are going to run today 6.3.3 Resistor and Armor Break Immunity. So all the defenders will have Armor Break Immunity. They are also going to be Poison Immune and Bleed Immune, and the most important one, they are going to have Resistor. So Resistor is whenever you hit the opponent, he will get physical resist buff on them. If you do magical damage, they will get energy resist buff on them. Now you can use this to your advantage mostly from your mystic champions that have nullifies, because there is a boost for this path that is called Vulture Touch. So whenever this boost is active and you nullify using a mystic champion, you nullify a buff from the opponent, they get a passive degen for every buff nullified to a maximum of 10. So we're going to use this a lot. So the best champions to use are champions like Longshot, Magic with SP3, Morningstar with SP2, and also Doom with SP1. Black Widow has built-in nullifiers, and also Diablo you can use. If you don't have any good mystic champion, there are other viable options as well. So the first mine goes to the champions that can manipulate the buffs to their advantage. So for example, a Ronin, the more buffs they have, the longer the stun and the criticals that come out from his Sig ability. Same goes with She-Hulk. If you're for cosmic champions, the more the buffs they are, the more damage she does. And also you can use Mordo with his SP2 spam. So the more buffs there are, the more damage the opponents take with his SP2. You can also use Venom, though not advisable, but if you don't have a choice, Venom will work as well here. With his SP1, he can eat out the buffs and do damage as well, and with his stacking buffs. As again, you can quake this path as well, you can ghost this path as well. And the boss is going to be a Havok with Cornered and Force of Will, along with improved power gain and crumbling armor. More on him once we go into the path. But before we jump into the path, guys, make sure you like the video, comment down below, subscribe to the channel, turn on this post notification. All of those really help me out a lot and motivates me to keep doing these videos. After this, we'll be jumping into 6.3.4, and thereon we will try to complete 6.3 and 6.4 before 7.2 comes out. Now the first fight is going to be against a Vulture. Now this is a very regulation fight. There's nothing too difficult about this one. This is just a warm-up fight. If you're going to use a Corvus, or if you're going to use a Morningstar, you want to build up a charge, you can come here as well and you can make a charge here, because the next fight is going to be the one with the Resistor and Armor Break Immunity nodes. Before you go into the fight with Blackbolt, make sure that this is active, Vulture's Touch. So whenever you nullify, you can give degen damage to your opponent. We will go through different champions that we can use. The first I'm going to use a Morningstar. So all I'm trying to do is to build up into an SP2 and make sure that he has his maximum number of resist on him. And then because he's Blackbolt, if you do critical hits on him, he's going to gain Furies and critical buffs as well. So trying to get as much as possible, and then I will give an SP2, and there you have it. Now you will notice I got back a lot of power. That's because I'm running a Mystic Dispersion 3x5. So whenever I nullify those buffs, I get power again. So basically I'm getting an SP2 all over again once I send the first SP2. So it's all about getting the first SP2 in line, and then the others you will get back from Mystic Dispersion if you are using. Again, next up is going to be Drax. Now again, I'm going to use here Morningstar. You will notice this time around that when I use an SP2, he will get degen on him. 10 stacks, that will really lay the damage into him. That is because of the class boost we are using, that is Vulture's Touch. Next up is going to be Yondu as a defender. Now with him you just need to be careful that you need to create a space and only parry his medium attack, his dash in. His light attacks can give you bleed. And we are going to use a Ronan here. Now Ronan is not a Mystic champion, so the Vulture's touch will not work here. But what Ronan has is his sig ability is whenever your opponent, the more buffs the opponent has, the longer the stun and the bigger the critical hits he does. So you will notice I've built up to 10 physical resist charges, and then all I'm doing now is keeping him in the corner and keep hitting him and stunning him as soon as the stun expires and as soon as I have an L1. So you can just keep doing that, he will be permanently stun locked and you can kill Yondu off. So Ronan is also a good option. You can do the whole path with Ronan as well. You just need one good champion and you can run this whole path easily. Then we're going to have a Phoenix. So with Phoenix, again she's a simple fight. You just need to take care about her power gain. So whenever she uses an SP1 and she has some Phoenix charges, she can easily go to an SP3. So the best way to deal with it is either you power control her and you do not give her power, or do not push her to an SP2, because if she goes to an SP2 and she uses it, she will get Phoenix charges, and then after an SP1 she can gain a lot of power. So I'm going to use in magic here. I'm going to make sure I power lock her and she does not get her any power, and I'm just going to take her down to 0 health, and at which point she will try to rise again. But if there are no Phoenix charges, she will not heal much and she will die either of your limbo or from the degen damage that she's going to get from Vulture's touch. What you could do here is you can use an SP3 once you have a lot of buffs built on her, all those resistors just like that. And with Magic's SP3 it scales with the number of buffs on the opponent. So the more the buffs, the more the damage, just like that. Next up we have a Hela. Now Hela is easily available SP1 and SP2, so you can push her to SP1 or SP2 if it comes to it. All you need to do is, again, I'm using a Morningstar, guys. You can use any Mystic champion. You can use a Doom here as well. You can use Black Widow Clairvoyant as well. So don't think that I'm using Morningstar, so she's the best option here. There's quite a few other options. The whole thing is that you want to nullify their buffs so they get degen from Vulture's touch, and then you can kill them off. The only thing you need to take care here is that Hela will have invulnerability when she goes to 0 HP. You will not notice here because Morningstar will, I will use SP2 with Morningstar and she will nullify the invulnerability as well, and you won't notice it. Otherwise you just have to back away, let the cooldown go away, and you can just kill her off. Next up is going to be a Heimdall. Now with Heimdall as well, always keep him to an SP1 because his SP2 gets really tricky. Because it gets true strike and you cannot evade it, and that is a lot of damage. And especially if you die once, and next time you come with another champion, he gets power gain as well and he can easily go to an SP2. So keeping that in mind, just keep him to an SP1, keep baiting it out, and once you go in after his SP1 there is a chance that he will auto block. So just if he auto blocks, just go back again, parry again, and go back to usual, use an SP2 again, and when all those resistor charges and that degens, he will die off really quickly. Next up, there's going to be a Hyperion. So Hyperion is usually a very annoying champion if you don't have a power control. In my case, I've brought in Magic. You can also bring in Doom here as well. You can also bring in Black Widow Clairvoyant. Any champion with a power control or even a nullify will work here. If we control his power, then he's a very easy champion. So what I'm going to do here, I'm going to keep him in the corner and power lock him and use my SP2. And then once he has all of those 10 resistor charges, I'm going to build up to an SP3 and use an SP3. Now because I'm running Mystic Dispersion 3x5, once I do use my SP3, I will deal a lot of damage to him because Magic's SP3 does damage per active buffs on the opponent. And because I will nullify so many buffs, I will get back another SP2 right away and I can go back right into power locking him again. So you can do the same cycle and kill him off easily. And the last fight with the nodes of resistor on them is going to be the champion. Now the champion, usually it's a very annoying fight if he's on the last node of a quest, but he's in the middle, so he's not that much annoying. Just bring in a nullified champion to keep his charges down so he does not go unstoppable much. Again, for me it's going to be a very simple and easy fight because I'm going to use a Morning Star and I'm going to use an SP2 straight away that will nullify all of his buffs and also keep it at bay. You can also bring a She-Hulk. She's an amazing champion against against him, and also Modu works as well. You can bring in Loki and steal all the buffs as well. So there's quite a few different options that you can use here. So yeah, just use an SP2 and you get that degen and you will die very quickly there. The next fight is going to be against the Annihilus. Now, he does not have any of those resistor charges, so you can't use them to your advantage. But with Annihilus, he can be pretty annoying with his obliterating strikes and giving unstoppable. So the way you go against him is you wait for him to dash in and then you swipe back and you use your light attacks to retaliate. Just here you will notice I'm going to do the same, build up to an SP1 and nullify his Cosmic Rod, and now you can easily parry him. Now usually I get through this fight easily, but I did die here, so I have to bring in Morningstar again. So with Morningstar as well, I will do the same. I will swipe back, and once he dashes in and use my light attacks to build up to an SP2. And once I have an SP2, I'm going to use my SP2 to nullify his Cosmic Rod and then rinse and repeat that process so Annihilus can die. Other champions that you can use against him that are really helpful, Magneto just shreds him. You can also use Black Widow Clairvoyant because of easy access to nullify. You can also bring in Doctor Strange. You can also bring in Scarlet Witch if you have her. Doom works really well here. Also you can use She-Hulk. You can put slow on him. Quake also works, and so does Captain America Infinity War. And also Storm Pyramid X works really nicely as well because she has the passive stun. So there's quite a few champions that you can use against him. The boss fight is going to be against a Havok. Now this Havok has cornered node on him, which gives him a lot of power if you bring in any champion that has damage over time, so I would advise not to. He's also got force of will, so his ability accuracy cannot be reduced, and he has improved power gain as well. So the longer the fight goes, the more power he gets with extinction protocol there as well. And also he also has crumbling armor, so if you bring up any armor up champion, you do not hit him within a certain time period, he is going to armor break you, and then it will take time for you to bring that armor up. Now the way he works is you either need to bring a champion that has armor up, so that protects you from the plasma detonate, or you have to bring in a champion that has a power drain or a power seal. Do not bring in a champion who has power lock, because that will give him double plasma charges and you will die very fast. So in my case, I'm using a Colossus with the synergy with Omega Red for that extra damage with every armor up, because I want to finish this fight faster. Other options that you can use are going to be Warlock, you can use Vision as well, you can also use Gilly 29, she's amazing, above 100 hits. The new champions, you can use Guardian as well, so you can use Nova as well, so there's quite a few champions now in the game that you can use. If not, you can always use Cyclops, both of them, because that's a little Easter egg, because they're immune to his plasma damage, so they will not take any damage from his SP3 or from the plasma detonate, and you can easily just kill Havok off with the Cyclops and with the crumbling armor. And if you have willpower 3 by 3, you will keep healing up. So that's one way to go about it as well. I hope you guys enjoyed the video and you found the tips and tricks helpful. If you did, guys, make sure to like the video, comment down below, and subscribe to the channel and turn on those post notifications. All of that really helps me out a lot. And now we'll be starting off with 6.3.4 on the next part, and apart from that, I hope you all have an amazing day, and I'll see you next time.